again, we are gathered here at St. Mary's Cemetery, and Sport is going to do us a great honor.
Oh, well, all I'm going to do is recount the life of Colonel William G. Sirwell, who was one of the most famous residents of Kittanning, Pennsylvania. He was a famous statesman and soldier during the Civil War. In fact, he was organized and commanded the first Black Battalion that was organized down in Pittsburgh. He lived across, if you're familiar with Kittanning at all, he lived across on High Street. He lived across from the Catholic Church. Okay, and actually, he converted to Catholicism on his deathbed. Although he supported the church, and actually that was before the church was built. And when the traveling priest would come through to give mass in Kittanning, they would have it at Colonel Sirwell's house. So he was a great man like that. So the real story behind this monument here, as you might see that there's acorns put on the tombstone. When he was with his men, they were surrounded by the Confederate troops, and they were starving. They had no way to bring in supplies. They were completely surrounded, and he had the men gather acorns, and they would grind them up, and he would make a stew out of them with some of the other plants in the forest that he knew about. So he saved all of their lives, and they never forgot that. In fact, when he passed away, his men took this heavy granite monument and they carried it up on their shoulders up here, up to the cemetery in Kittanning, Pennsylvania. The street now is called Sirwell Street. So you imagine the devotion that his men had, that they thought so much of him that they wouldn't let it be carried up about other than their own. They had to carry this on their backs to the planet. So I'm hoping that everybody, history is very important in the history of Kittanning. We're all from Kittanning. We were all here. We're here all of our lives, and a lot of us are going to be here through eternity in the next world. So I'm hoping that everybody gets a chance. There's a history of Armstrong County it's a nice volume that does a very nice job of detailing the history of Armstrong County, and particularly Colonel Sirwell.
Hey, Sport, can you talk about the concrete pillars surrounding this?
I'm not exactly sure about the concrete pillars, but this is to his men. This was sacred ground, where their commander was buried. So this is sacred ground. So these pillars that are surrounding it are protection to designate this particular area as sacred ground for them.
All right.
See the acorns?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Oh, yeah, let me see, Rusty.
laying all around here.
He was a great man.
Those just fall off the tree?
No, these have been laying here, but they fall
That's
constantly.
so cool.
They're sprouting.
All
The
right.
forester could tell us exactly. What is it? Once every 5 years they have a big fall, or something like that.
They can have them every year, but mass years, yeah. They have
Mass
abundance.
years.
You think that they purposely buried him under this tree because this acorns?
Planted this tree.
They planted the
They
tree?
carried this stone up here 135 years ago. I was just looking at that.
Yeah.
135 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.